Hey guys, what's up? My bed is so messy. I have to clean this up. But today we're gonna be testing the new NABLA foundation. You probably guessed by, reading. So they sent me one of their PR packages boxes, and it had like all of the foundations in mini sizes like this, and then it had a full-size foundation that I don't have right here. But the full size wasn't really my size, and so I'm gonna be working with probably these two. And so this foundation has 20 shades. It's a little restrictive, but at the same time I do feel like they distributed the 20 shades evenly throughout all the skin tones. And so for a little brand, I think that's really amazing. For an indie brand, yeah, I do definitely think they're gonna expand the range anytime soon, especially if it's a hype foundation. You guys know I love NABLA, and I'm hoping I'm gonna love this foundation as well. And so this is the Close-Up Futuristic Foundation. Weightless, soft focus, perfect complexion. It doesn't say anything about coverage. I didn't read anything either, so I'm gonna just have to see how they go. So this is shade L1, which is L10, which is the lightest shade, and this is the second lightest shade, L20. I feel like I'm somewhere here in the middle. And that's why I think like 20 shades are never gonna be really enough. So let's just swatch both of these and try to understand, where am I? The L10 says for very fair complexions with yellow undertones, and the L20 is for very fair to fair complexions with neutral undertones. You see what I mean? If it was for my hand shade, I think this would have probably been really good. But for my face, I'm a little lighter on my face, especially if I want to blend down to my neck. And so this is going to be too dark, but I think this might be a bit too pale. So I'm going to mix the two. This range also came with a new sponge and a foundation buffer brush, which is a little weird because I think this is either natural hair or like imitating natural hair. And usually foundation buffer brushes are synthetic because then it doesn't sync up the foundation, but we'll see. I think this looks pretty okay. So I'm gonna do this side with the sponge and then this side with the brush. They're both new tools to me, so I'm just gonna see what happens. So it doesn't seem really high coverage, either that or it's the foundation or it's the sponge that's sort of delivering a really seamless, a really low coverage thing. I think the match is pretty perfect, so I'm glad I mixed it too, 50-50. So if they ever come up with an L15, I think I'd be all up in that because I think that's my jam. But for summer, maybe L20 is gonna be really good for me. So this is a first layer of the sponge side. Really seems to go on very seamlessly. Doesn't even feel like I have anything. And I say that a lot about a lot of foundations, but I don't think anyone has gone as seamlessly as this one is going, and it's freaking me out a little bit because it just seems like skin. The second layer is definitely a little bit more visible. It does build up, but I do think I'd still need to pinpoint conceal. Finish is freaking awesome, and I hope this does well throughout the day because it is so beautiful. It's like it's jamming and melting its skin, like not like anything I've ever seen before. Okay, let's do the brush side. I do gotta say I did go through a lot of foundation to get this coverage. With those like microfiber sponges that are like fuzzy, I think you get a lot more coverage for less product. So the sponge does a better job of getting the foundation worked into the skin without it sinking into pores. Abort the situation, no to the foundation brush. I think it's a lovely brush for powder, but not for cream. I don't think, maybe with my microfiber sponge, the coverage will be a bit better. But it does build up nicely though. I'm gonna go with their concealer, the close-up concealer. They do play well together. I feel like the Porcelain concealer is a bit lighter than the mixture I'm currently sporting, but not by much. And so it plays really well. If you blend it out, For my under eye, I'm not going to use the close-up concealer because I feel like this is one of those more drying concealers that you use for sculpting and everything, and my under eyes are really, really dry. And so I love this concealer for pimples, but not exactly for under eyes. So before applying powder, I'd say this is a satin / soft matte finish. So it's not overly matte. I'm not feeling it uncomfortable at all. It is very, well, as it says, it's soft focus. It is very sort of like blurring, that it kind of creates a soft canvas illusion, which I really, really like. And I just hope that this goes well over the day, because I'm just really impressed right now and I don't want to be disappointed. Now I'm gonna apply their powder. And this is their newest powder. So they have a loose powder. They've launched these pressed powders, and this is the close-up smoothing pressed powder. They have 3 shades, which I think they should expand on as well, because I think this is the lightest shade. There's a medium shade, which I'm giving away to my sister, and then there's a darker shade. Would work for as like not a highlighting, but like a brightening powder, maybe for the tan ones, but for the deep shades, I don't think that powder would work. So I do hope they also expand on that. So this is getting ahead of myself. This is the shade Light, which is pretty light. There's the Precision powder brush and the big powder brush. I'm gonna be using this under my eyes, and rest is this. It does have a lot of fallout, which I'm not bothered by because I do like loose powders anyway, but just be careful, don't swirl it around, just like tap it. I think that would be better. It has like a smoothing sort of touch to it. It does feel a bit tighter, but that's normal. I'm gonna go with a big brush again. Tap, tap, don't swirl it around. I do like this big brush. I like the shape of it for powder, because I'm more of a setting down powder than a swirling around, because when I swirl around, all the coverage goes away. So I do like the shape. I'm just gonna do my T-zone because the foundation is not at all dewy. It does feel a bit tightening. I do feel the powder made things a little bit more cakey. I still feel I should have definitely done a close-up before this. So this is what the texture looks like. I do have big pores and stuff, so. Why do I look so orange? I do think this oxidizes a little because I am noticing that I'm a bit more yellow. Maybe I should have just used the light one. This is, again, texture after powdering. I'm looking weird. The color is looking weird on camera. Do you think it's the powder, maybe? Again, in person it doesn't look as Cheeto-ish as it does on camera. Not sure what's happening. But yeah, this is the coverage and thingy after. See this? This is not happening in real life. This contrast. It's weird. Oh, I forgot to take the flowers. So I was doing a thing. So sorry. Oh. Honestly, I was a little worried about the foundation itself because with the powder, it did seem to get a bit more cakey. I haven't misted it, although I really wanted to because I think it'd be even better. But I think my natural oils kind of kicked in. With the exception of a few areas where it's still a little bit cakey, I'd say this is a really flawless base, and I'm gonna do a close-up, of course. This layered everything on so well, and it did not take away from coverage. Sorry, my eyes are really red. Oh my God, I got sensitive eyes. I think this here is one of the more cakier parts, or I couldn't fix much. And you know, the crease is always a strong contender. But overall, in the cheeks and all the most textured areas here, I think it's gone on pretty well. I did think this kind of brushed off coverage, but I'm not sure I didn't go there and just wiped it off. First of all, I'm excited to know how this progresses throughout the day, but also I'm excited to know how this looks without a powder. I'm so sorry, I wasn't able to do the 4-hour check-in because I stayed late a little bit longer than I thought I would. Honestly, this is performing really well. I know that there's a few areas where it's a little bit patchier, but those areas did not get worse. and the rest kind of really looks really good. None of the coverage has gone away. It doesn't feel itchy or uncomfortable or drying or anything like that. So yeah, for me, it's a yes right now. So I didn't finish this video, which was the NABLA foundation, because I was expecting to, I planned on actually applying the foundation without the powder and doing the close-ups, which I didn't do. But what happened was, I wore that foundation for about a week and absolutely loved it. And I was preparing to film the close-ups. I suddenly realized that the foundation had high percentage of alcohol in it. And in the beginning of the video, when you see me starting to apply and then I smell a little bit the sponge and I keep on applying it, I thought at the time I smelled alcohol, but I just put it out of my mind because I didn't kind of make the connection. But then my skin was becoming more sore, becoming more aggravated, more sensitive, more red and rashy, and also I had a lot more acne at the end of the week. I had a lot of cystic acne, which I don't usually have altogether. I have like one every once in a while, and I had like 3 of them. It came down to me realizing that the only culprit would be the foundation, and so then I realized it was because of the alcohol, because my skin tends to react really badly to alcohol. I do love the foundation, and if you are used to foundations that do have alcohol, then please do try it. But if you do have sensitive skin or skin that is reactive to alcohol, keep that in mind before buying, because the alcohol is the 5th ingredient, so it's way up there in the list, and it does have an effect on the skin, did have on mine. Which I think is why it has a lovely, lovely, lovely finish, is also because of the alcohol, because, you know, it makes it sink in faster. For me, though, that's not a good enough reason to have it, because it does give me acne, but I know of a lot of people that use foundations with a lot of alcohol that really, really love them, and that I also love the finish of. And these are, for example, the likes of the YSL foundations, the Dior foundations, I think the Lancome foundations. They're usually foundations that you see in high-end makeup. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sadly not going to be using the NABLA foundation anytime soon, sadly, because I do love it. The powder, I maintain that I don't like, because I think it's powdery, I think it's really cakey. It does feel very smoothing, but as you know, for me, those type of blurring, smoothing formulas don't usually work, so that might be why. If you do like them, that might be worth a try, but for me personally, I don't like it. I think, like, compared to all my other powders that I have, pressed or loose, it's just not a powder that enhances the finish, rather the opposite. So yeah, that's pretty much my stance on it. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and click the little bell button so you know every single time I'm uploading. And also, I have other videos coming up that are already filmed, so I'm not lying. And also there's a new foundation that I'm gonna try very soon, which is the Pure foundation that has 100 shades, which I'm really excited about, so let me know if that's something you want to see. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.